Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BrokeN Boys. This is episode 198, 7, 8, 198. And I am Colin.
And I am Mike.
And yeah, this week just gonna be a normal episode before a slew of special ones.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, at the end, we're gonna do a little something unorthodox. And
that's a cliffhanger for all you out there.
but before that, how has your week been, Mike?
Week has been fine. I just want to give everyone a heads up real quick. I got spoiler alert for my week. I am currently in Wisconsin on a laptop setup, which has already given some technical difficulties. I've had Colin sitting here for like 20 minutes and I feel bad about it. If my audio sounds weird or if for whatever reason some delays start happening in our audio, I apologize in advance. That's what's going on. Technology is not my friend tonight, so but it's working fine right now. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. But my week was pretty good. I got to do some cool things. For instance, John, he's pretty cool. Got to do something with him, and earlier this week. Well, there was like earlier in the year, he sent me like I think a TikTok initially of just like Interstellar's coming back to theaters or whatever, and that's kind of one of those infamous movies for me that I tell people I haven't seen. It's just like, you haven't seen that, which was pretty wild. You know, I'd only seen like bits and pieces of it beforehand, and earlier this week, I think it was Monday, might have been Tuesday. He sent a message again that it was in theaters for 3 days at a theater 40 minutes away from me, and probably like over an hour for him. I was like, "You want to see it?" And he said, "Yeah." So we the only time that worked for us was 10:30 that night, 10:30 p.m. I guess that's what the night implies. You know. Got to do that, go up to like this really rich mall in near Chicago area. They had an AMC there, and got to watch Interstellar in IMAX. You know, there was a time, brief period of time when I'd only seen bits and pieces of the movie that was like, yeah, this movie's overrated. You know, like I had that mindset. And even, you know, I kind of I matured out of that for a bit, because that was back in, you know, 2014, 2015. And I realized like maybe I should watch the full movie before coming to that conclusion. But I did have you know, a little bit of in me, because you know, a lot of like the film buffs will be like, Interstellar is the best movie ever made or whatever, and I'm just kind of like yeah right, you know, a little bit inside of me. But you know, watching it, I'm like, yeah, this is really fucking good. It's a very, very good movie. It's done very well. I love all like the, you know, like themes of the plot that are going on in there. I think it's written extraordinarily well, shot amazingly. You know, nothing I'm saying has not been said a million times over at this point. But you know, it really is just like a technical achievement, and looks incredible to this day, despite being, you know, over 10 years old at this point. Yeah, would highly recommend people go see that in IMAX if they're able to, even if you've seen it before. But yeah, just to show you how much I didn't know about it beforehand, I didn't know Timothy Chalamet was in it. Or John Lithgow. Like both of them were in there. I was like, dang, I didn't even know you two were in this movie. I did know about the surprise actor like halfway through it or so. And not to spoil it, I guess. um, but I did know about that guy being in the movie. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was really good. And you could really feel the movie in IMAX, as God
I'm sure.
intended. Yeah. Some of the like I know a lot of the pieces that are in the score because the score has become so iconic over time. But I don't think I'd ever heard any of like the hits of like huge organs that Hans Zimmer does throughout that score, and like those
Mm.
organs were sick as hell and like sounded amazing in that theater.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. There was a the only other thing I have noted from there is that there was a trailer for a Michael B. Jordan movie coming up. I think called like Sinners or something.
Okay.
And the trailer uses a clipping song, which I thought was
Oh.
interesting. It's very brief. It was like in brief segments, and it was like broken up. But like there was like one section where they had it playing for like a whole like measure or a whole bar. I was like, I like turned the channel. I was like, I think that's a clipping song. It was off of There Existed an Addiction to Blood. It's Blood of the Fang. It was the instrumental to that, and I was like, whoa, okay, that's
Oh.
good for them. I actually wasn't expecting to hear clipping in my IMAX theater. But yeah, no, it was a great time. I'm glad I got to go see that with John as well. Got teary eyed a few times.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But other than that, really not like too much notable this week. Traveled up to Wisconsin today, which was it was fine. A little bit of
What you think there?
Oh, we're up here for just my dad's Christmas stuff. I think I mentioned it on the pod before, but he has a very big family up here, and we're doing just tonight they're doing the party for I believe just the kids of my grandma, so my dad and his siblings and significant others and stuff, obviously. That party is happening, and then tomorrow there's the party for everyone, which like we always rent out a place, and then I get to see a whole bunch of people that are vaguely familiar faces and be like, "Oh yeah, you're part of my family. You're related to me somehow." And then tomorrow night we're doing that cousins party again, the second annual cousins party. So that's all the grandkids. And last year I was like, I didn't know you were also a grandkid too. I remember talking about that on the pod. There's some people who are like, in their 50s that are my cousins, and it's like wild because I'm the second youngest cousin. So it's
Yeah.
it's a culture shock a bit. But yeah, that's what we're up here for, though. It'll be a decent time. I've already eaten terribly, and I haven't even been to a party yet, so I can't wait for my body to adjust after this weekend. But what'd you say?
Tis the season.
Tis the season. Yeah, not to mention actual Christmas and New Year's coming up.
Uh,
But we did already talk about plans of having a shrimp ring for this New Year's Eve. So
oh yeah.
if you know, you know. Looking forward to that. But yeah, doing that. Been doing leagues still, RuneScape leagues. I'm basically done with RuneScape leagues, but there's still some content that I'm gonna get to. I love RuneScape. You know me. And yep. um, Last night I didn't really have anything to do, and I was like, I don't really feel like doing anything too mind occupying in RuneScape right now. And I was like, you know what? I heard the video or the game awards are on tonight, and I want to watch 21 Pilots. So threw that on the side screen. I say side screen, but I just split my screen in half with that and RuneScape in the other half, and made a date with myself out of it. Yeah, great time. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that stuff a little bit later. Yeah, that was pretty much my week. Didn't really do too much besides that. How about you
Same.
though? Oh, listen to anything? Did listen to one thing actually. Thank you. I listened to "Alligator Bites Never Heal" by Dochi, and I'll get into why I listened to that a little bit later. But it was a very very good album, and I'm really excited to see what she does next. To be honest,
Mm.
but yeah, very mixtape feel, but in a really promising way. It was good. I liked it quite a bit. Um,
So-
yeah. How about you? How was your week?
okay. Pretty much it's the same old, same old. Been playing playing Marvel Rivals. Been really good. Love that game so far. Um, I played Catan a couple more times,
Nice.
including last night during the Game Awards. Had that one of my roommates had that streaming on the TV while we were playing, so it was like kind of half paying attention to Catan and more paying attention to the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Um, uh, did some more re-listens for year-end lists.
Nice.
Got a yeah, couple more growers in there. But I'm getting there. I think I'm basically done with my 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go back and listen to some ones below the 10, but for now I think I'm pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Cool.
Uh, I what else did I do? I worked. That's fun. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. I
That's fine.
I watched a couple. I watched a couple movies. Watched Late Night with the Devil, which is a horror movie with the main character is he's a late night host and he's played by I always forgot to say his last name. It's like David Malchian or something like that.
Okay.
He was in Prisoners. He was like the
Oh.
guy with the
Oh.
snake.
Was he the guy in Suicide Squad who had like spots as his
Yeah,
Yeah,
Polka
yeah,
Dot
that
Man.
guy. Yeah. Polka Dot Man, yeah.
Yes, he was that guy, but he was very good in it. It was pretty good, pretty creepy. Um, it's set in the 70s, so like a lot of the movie was filtered to look like it was filmed a long time ago. It's kind of like a found footage kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. So it was cool, very good. I recommend that. And then I also watched the gay tennis movie with Zendaya that came out
Let's
this
go.
year, Challenge. And that was very good. It was very gay. Um, Zendaya, she plays a character that at times is really abhorrent, and I hated her very much, and she played that extremely well.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find performances where Zendaya is like a hateable person. I mean, in like Euphoria, like she does some things that are like, God, why are you doing that? You're stupid.
Yeah.
But you never really hate her character. But in this movie, goddamn,
Yeah.
goddamn, what a bitch.
Yeah.
It was good though. I recommend that one. Heard really good things throughout the year about that, and I was like, I think it's finally time. So
It's
yeah,
Challenger's time, as Colin says.
it was good though. It was a good movie.
Good.
But yeah, nothing else too exciting. Just hanging out, working, listening to music. Been listening to more podcasts as well. They did
Mm.
around when they started. They did a story called "The Left and Right Game," and altogether it's like they it's like 7 hours between the two parts they did, and it was basically just like listening to an audiobook,
Mm.
and but with Wendigoon and Meat Canyon narrating and doing lines, which is it was very funny. But that was a really really good story. It's like uploaded to Reddit, and it's most of the stories they read are off of Reddit anyway. But it was really good. It was very engaging and very well written. And it's like, God, why don't you just write a book? Like,
Yeah, redditors have a knack for that.
it genuinely could have been a book, and I wouldn't have batted an eye. It was it was very good.
That's
But
cool. That's cool.
yeah, that's been good. But yeah, during the Game Awards, there was a trailer for a big update for Helldivers 2, and a couple of my roommates are very into that game. So I was like, you know what, I'll download it from my siblings' account and play with you guys, and they were like, oh, really?
Dude, my neighbors would nut if I said that as well. They love that game.
I played it like once or twice, months and months ago when it was at its peak, and then I heard that they kind of shit the bed
Oh yeah,
for
that's
a little.
right. Yeah.
But I said that to them, and they were like, "Well, they shit the bed for like a week or two." But I was like, I heard that went on for a long time, and they lost a lot of their player base. But you know what? You guys probably know more than me, so yeah, I'll do that at some point. I played Marvel Rivals with one of my coworkers earlier this week, and he was very very good. I was like, he got like MVP like most of the games that we played, and I was like, why can't I be good at video games?
Real.
But
Real for myself. I wasn't calling you that.
but no, I've been playing more this week by myself. I've been maining Hawkeye, which is it's precision shooting, but it's done in a fun way, and I got MVP a few times, and I'm not too upset with it. But yeah, it's been good. But yeah, I didn't listen to anything new this week. Just re-listens, and also been doing submitting nominees and making categories for the broke.
Yes, we've been broking it up a little bit in a document. Broking up the doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. New term unlocked.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, this is completely off track, but I'm thinking of it right now. Every time when they were talking about docking in Interstellar, I was grinning a little bit. Do not attempt the docking sequence or whatever. Yeah.
God, that's really funny.
Brain rot, yeah.
Okay. Everyone has a little bit of brain rot. So.
I don't think that's true, but
But yeah, it's basically my week.
yeah.
So yeah, excited to come up at the end of the week for Christmas and such.
Yep. Yeah, getting a lot of gifts and all that. Yeah, I also finished up my lists this week too, so I will be all good for that next week if there was any concern. Yeah. But
very cool.
Yeah, cool for you.
And some music news.
You got quite a bit.
I mean, you go ahead then, because I only have like two things written.
Okay. Well, I wanted to do a little double feature on the Tiny Desk. Yes. There were two pretty notable ones this week. One of them I sent in our group chat, which was Dochi. She did a Tiny Desk, and I had never listened to her stuff outside of the Tyler feature. And genuinely, I think it's like one of the most impressive Tiny Desks I've seen in a long time. I'm not sure if you watched it or not, but
not the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I was just like blown away, honestly, by just how she performs. Like, it's like insanely just like engaging. I think it's so unique. And it had me wanting to go check out the album, which I did. And like, I think what she was doing live with that live band spoke a lot louder than what it was in like the actual produced versions. But I don't know. I just found that
Uh-huh.
performance to be absolutely incredible. And yeah, I just wanted to shout that one out. But then we got another Tiny Desk a few days later from a little known artist known as Billie Eilish. Um, and that was also a
Oh yeah.
very good one as well. Had some. I was happy that they did the greatest. That's probably my favorite song from that album.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it translated well.
Also, yeah. Also glad they showed "I Love You" some love
Oh
because
yes,
damn,
yeah, that too. Yeah,
that was one of their best songs
for
for
sure.
sure,
Yeah.
um, and done beautifully as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was very cool. And I started watching the Dochi Tiny Desk, but it was like right before I went to sleep, and I was like, I can't finish this right now.
That's fair.
So maybe after the pod, I'll give it a watch. But
I
you know,
would recommend.
I started the album last week as well, but I never went back to it for some reason.
Mm.
But yeah, I also saw that Dochi was on. I think she was on Stephen Colbert this week.
Yeah,
As
I
a
saw.
musical guest.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say I also saw that performance. It was also extremely well done. Like there was an entire like choreographed like dance to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I watched that performance, and that was very well done and very impressive. She seems like a very very big talent, and I'm very interested to see what comes of her career because she could be very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and especially with like people like Tyler and Kendrick backing her, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
well, if those big boys are hyping you up, then
Yeah.
we got some talent on our hands.
Absolutely. Yeah, I saw something. I don't know how true this is because I think I read it online in a comment sections, but from what I read, apparently Kendrick had offered for her to have a feature on GNX, but she turned it down because she didn't feel like she was ready for a Kendrick feature yet, like to be a Kendrick feature. Which, if that's true, that's some insane artist preservation right there, and
Oh
like
yeah,
wanting to be at her best ability, like that's extremely respectable if that's true. But yeah,
oh yeah, I love that. But
yeah.
it's very cool.
What you got in
Uh,
your music news?
well, the Billy Tiny Desk was one of them, but I also saw that ASAP Rocky's album was apparently supposed to come out this year, and then it got pushed to January.
Mm.
But then I looked farther into it, and that apparently that rollout has been happening for like a very, very long time,
Yeah,
like 10 years or something like that.
yeah,
And like you know, I had heard that ASAP Rocky hasn't released an album in a very long time, and like all of Tyler's big albums have been released in the time frame of since then.
right, right.
And it's like, how is he such a big name still? I know he's married to Rihanna and all this, so he's like he has publicity on his name and he features on things, but like he hasn't released an album of his own in however long, and this rollout has been rocky.
Nice,
So
nice.
it's like, I've never listened to any of Rocky's solo music, so I don't know if it's if it's like super good or not. But it's kind of crazy to me that he's been able to be such a relevant and prominent name in hip hop for so many years without actually releasing this album.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know that him and Rihanna were together. But
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean that really is like the king and queen of not releasing music, though it seems like.
Yeah, they have
Well,
together.
sorry. hold on, the king. Oh god, the king and queen of of not releasing music and still being relevant. There we go. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. No, they have 2 kids together. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. That's I just saw that and I was like, damn, that's actually crazy. But
Yeah,
you know, we'll see if that comes out in January or
we'll see.
January 2029 or something. But
Right. Yeah. 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 It's like the Avatar sequels. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, no, I don't really know much about that, but I've heard a lot of times about ASAP Rocky being having a lot of issues with releasing an album. But I think even like label issues and stuff or something. I don't know any details, but yeah. Um, but yeah, another piece of news I have. Actually, before I get to that, I do have one question for you, Colin. Um, and that question is a would you rather, and the would you
Oh,
rather is would you rather get $500,000 right now,
oh.
or have a dinner with Jay Z?
Ooh. See, I forgot to write that down because that happened at the very beginning of the week. But
You got 500K at the beginning of the week. Damn.
uh, no,
Someone's Secret Santa's gonna be real nice this year.
and one is still 50.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Didn't
don't know.
specify 50 what. We didn't specify.
That is true. Um, I don't know. I feel like Jay Z could give me a lot of good advice.
Oh,
So
is that so?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a pedophile.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Yeah, that was something that came out this week. Apparently, Jay Z being accused of raping I think it was a 13-year-old, might have been 14-year-old, alongside P. Diddy during a famous Diddy party. Um,
Yeah.
Yay! I love celebrities. Uh,
Um, I
I'll,
forgot that I sent that into the group chat. Actually, I don't know why I didn't write that down.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find any part of that Paris song comforting anytime soon. Um,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. I looked into like the play-by-play of what he was accused of, and it was rough,
Yep.
to say the least. Uh, so that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's um. Yeah.
Another
Another upper from
another
this
iconic,
podcast.
another big iconic name in hip hop being struck down by being a terrible fucking person.
Right.
Uh, and also like stuff in his past that like you look at that and you're like, oh, you see, maybe like the fact that I think he got with Beyonce when she was like 16.
No, I think what I heard was he met her when she was 16, but I think they
uh,
got together later. I'm sure if he was definitely at a time where if he got with her at 16, that would be more questionable. It wasn't like the 80s, but still, that is weird. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
apparently, also, I don't know too much detail. I mean, I'm not sure how much the public knows details about it, but there was also an unnamed woman who was in the room that whole time too, which is a little peculiar. Unnamed woman, So something could come to fruition of that as well. But yeah,
it could have just been a random woman, might not be famous, but
I don't know.
um,
Could be.
I don't know.
Yeah. And in brighter news, the Game Awards happened, and there was a performance of The Line by 21 Pilots
Yeah,
with a live orchestra and
yeah.
Josh Dunn on the drums. And well, what'd you think of that, Colin?
I thought it was great. I think that a live performance of that song was just what it needed to kind of as a banger.
Mm-hmm.
It helped a lot watching the show and having it, in context and everything as well. I liked it before that, but it just helped a little bit. But hearing it live with that orchestra and them going real hard,
Yeah.
and especially Tyler with that yell, fantastic. I'm a slut for a Tyler yell. So that was great. I thought it was a great performance, and the two performances before that were good too.
Yeah.
Not, but yeah, I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, I do feel somewhat bad for those performances beforehand because I feel like they weren't credited nearly the same as 21 Pilots were, which I think is slightly fucked up. But they those two did very well as well. But yeah, the 21 Pilots was great. I really enjoyed it. Like you said, that scream that he added during the bridge sounded phenomenal. It sounded like honestly some of the best vocals I think I've heard him do in a sec. It's like, man, this man went from the pantaloon to this. Like the vocal talents have skyrocketed. Yeah, very, very great performance from him, and I really liked some of the orchestral embellishments added in there too. I think they did. It was a nice. I mean, I was saying when that song first released that this with like real strings, I think would sound even better, and I feel validated in that. Like that whole part sounded so epic and so grand. And yeah, it was also a little weird because I was watching Connor Eats Pants watch the Game Awards comfort streamer, which I think tonight he's doing a Fortnite Friday with Anthony Fantano, which I'm looking forward to that. But I was watching him watch it, and he was making kind of the stereotypical like, where are the other 19 pilots jokes? And I was like, yeah, okay. I only mentioned that though because someone did a little compilation of like streamers watching the line because there was a lot of people who were not exposed to 21 Pilots who were watching that stream last night, and I think pretty much everyone that was in that compilation was pretty impressed with what went down. There was a clip of Moist Critical watching it, and after that scream he was like, man, the fucking pipes on that guy. I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I saw that reaction. I also saw Germa.
Oh, I didn't see Germa.
Yeah, like, he can hit that shit. He hit that shit.
That's such a Germa response. I love that.
Yeah, I saw Critical. I saw a couple other people. I think Dante, the guy who does like rap album reactions.
Yeah, I don't think I saw his either.
Yeah, he was like facing away from the camera, but he was like, "Oh wow, that was good."
Yeah, I saw like Queso's as well. Queso was very supportive.
Yeah,
Midwestern boys, stick together. Yeah.
Well, he's from Arkansas.
Is that Midwest? I feel like that's pushing it. Yeah. He feels like a Midwest boy. I don't know.
He does feel like
he feels like he's from like North Dakota or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, it was great, and I think that was a good thing for them. Just public. I mean, not like they had bad publicity. Kind of. There are a lot of people who think 21 Pilots cringe, which I understand where that comes from, but I think that was a good thing for them in general.
Perusing Twitter, it was a lot of people going, maybe have I been misjudging this band? Have I been calling them middle school emo garbage for no reason? Like, what have I been doing? Like, are they good?
Yeah.
And then some people were like, they gotta be lip syncing, but it's like, no.
Yeah, there's a lot of lip sync and auto tune accusations. I will say, and I actually, I only made a long Reddit post because I was being driven up to Wisconsin today. But someone made a post about like how it wasn't auto tune or whatever. there probably is pitch correction done to it, which is different than autotune. Very, very different. But I think the pitch correction was, something. I think all award shows have that on all their vocalists just to make sure everything sounds a little polished. But like that doesn't take away from how great that vocal performance was. But like it does make it sound a little cleaner than it probably was in reality. But it still was really impressive. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I don't think I was lip synced at all. So
No,
yeah,
definitely not. They're not gonna. That scream was. It was probably done in rehearsals, but it was definitely not just like, yeah, we're gonna record that and play it over. It's not. You're not
yeah,
gonna.
it's hard to
You're
fake
not
a
gonna get like
scream
that
too.
stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, that was very cool.
yeah, very much
Yeah.
so. That's about all I got for music news, I think. Yep, yeah, that's all I got for that.
In other news inside of the Game Awards,
Mm-hmm.
Astrobots.
Yep,
Astrobots. We.
Astrobot Sweet.
Af- they won like 4 awards that they were nominated for. Shadow of the Erd Tree, the Elden Ring DLC that was nominated for Game of the Year, one thing which I was
Nope.
glad to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like I'm not an Elden Ring hater, but seeing a DLC held up as like a full release game that like, and it's a big DLC, it's a long DLC, but it's not a full game, and I don't think it should have been nominated for Game of the Year at all.
Yeah, it definitely was stretching some boundaries for sure, like, and not in a good way.
Yeah. But yeah, Astrobot won Game of the Year. I was very
Mm-hmm.
to see that.
I know you enjoyed the hell out of
The
that.
streamer. Oh yeah, that's my Game of the Year. It's so fun. But we were watching it on stream, and I guess it was like a little behind because I got a notification. And I watched it, looked down, and PlayStation tweeted, "Congrats on Astrobot for winning Game of the Year." And I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, hey,
It's spoiled. Yeah.
spoiled it." But then there were some cool announcements. The Witcher 4 is coming out. People complaining about a female protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And also her not being like big boobied and gorgeous without flaw.
Yep.
Um,
Gamers.
another Elden another Elden Ring is coming out. It's like a co-op based Elden Ring.
Nope. Did we lose it?
Miyazaki
Oh,
fans.
sorry.
Miyazaki fans.
What?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. It sounded like you cut out there, but I think you're fine. You're saying Miyazaki fans.
And Miyazaki fans can live another day.
Mm-hmm.
There was a there's a game with Aaron Paul
Yeah.
and Laura Bailey in it, as well as Jacksepticeye and a bunch of other people in the cast.
Yeah,
It's
Moist
like,
Critical, one of them too.
it's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
but it's like a choice based game where you like catch superheroes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the no GTA 6, no Wolverine. Unfortunately, I was really hoping a Insomniac Wolverine trailer or something would come out, but they've had a rough year, so I'm not gonna expect anything.
Yeah. Apparently, there were big rumors of Half-Life 3 as well, but that did not happen. Shocking. Um,
I don't know if Valve's ever going to release another game.
hey, we all said that, and then Half-Life Alex came out, so I mean, it's still possible.
And but Naughty Dog, there was a a trailer started. It was very cinematic and beautiful, and there was a lot of like product placement. And I was like, that's weird. but the facial animations and the way in which the character was animated, I was kind of like, that looks like Naughty Dog to me.
Yeah.
And then as it was like, as the spaceship flew away, it was like, from the studio that brought you Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter. I was like, oh my god, oh my god. But it's a new game called Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
Oh, okay. I'm glad there's a subtitle. I only ever saw it as Intergalactic, and I was like, the name's a little lackluster, but the subtitle helps a little bit with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's it's a new franchise from Naughty Dog. It's set in space. It's an action game. Very cool. I'm glad that they're not just like, I would love, but I'm glad they're doing something different and not just like
You would
surviving awesome.
You would love what? Sorry, you cut out there.
I would love another Last of Us. Don't get
Oh,
me
okay.
wrong.
There we go. Yeah.
It's like surviving off of that, and only making Last of Us forever. So
Yeah.
but it's very cool.
Yeah. I think it looks like an interesting game. That's the one that I was seeing most of the woke allegations for.
Oh, yeah.
Was that game. I mean, I'm not doubting that there were some for Witcher as well, but I saw a lot more for, at my end. I saw a lot more for the Naughty Dog game, which I'm just like, it's so silly. I mean, I say silly like it's not a big deal, but it's stupid. Silly and stupid.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they had to turn off the comments on the trailer for it on YouTube because people were being sexist and racist and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's awesome. But
It's so awesome.
Couple big name actors are in the game, at least from an image within the game. I assume that they'll be in cutscenes and part of the game, but
Probably.
The actor who played Lalo Salamanca in Better Call Saul is in there.
Tony Dalton.
Tony Dalton. Beautiful man, beautiful acting work. And also Kumail Nanjiani, who very funny, and I'm excited to see what those two bring to the table. But who knows when that game's coming out, whether it's next year, 2 years from now, or 3 or 4. Because Naughty Dog they take their time.
Yeah.
Even when it's to our detriment. So that was cool. Lots of cool announcements. Some stuff I was missing, like I said, but that's okay.
Yeah, you missed the Post Malone game, Colin.
Oh yeah. The fucking it's just an add-on for a game, but yeah, Post Malone.
Oh, I thought it was a full game for some reason.
Post Malone's getting his own like DLC or add-on to a game, and it's called Post Malone's Murder Circus, which is very funny.
Dude, when I was watching Connor Eats Pants, and Post Malone showed up on the screen, he just goes, "Jelly roll." I thought that was really funny for some reason.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Queso won Creator of the Year, which his reaction was very wholesome and sweet.
Oh, I didn't. I should look that up. That sounds good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was just like, no way we're winning this one, chat. No way. And then fucking Jeff Keighley was like, queso, and he went, and he just put his hands on his head, and he just sat there for like 2 minutes, and it was like, no fucking way. And his mom called him and was like, "We're so proud of you."
That's awesome.
Very sweet. Highly recommend watching that reaction, but super sweet, super cool. I've never really watched any of Queso other than some like clips I see on TikTok, but he seems like a super sweet, super funny guy. So
when it comes to streamers, especially gamer streamers, I think you can go a lot worse than Queso. Yeah. He seems like he's pretty good. Yeah.
But yeah, and in other like YouTube news, Hot Ones has been acquired by themselves from BuzzFeed.
Okay.
They bought the rights to their from BuzzFeed, who
Oh,
apparently owned Hot Ones. I had no idea.
I didn't know that
Um,
either.
yeah, but Mythical also partly owns Hot Ones now,
Okay.
so that's cool. Um, it doesn't really anything other than the fact that they own their own show now, which is cool. But it was like I want to say like 50 million, 56 million, or something like that, which is crazy, but that makes sense for how big of a profile that show has.
Hmm.
Um, that's cool.
Yeah.
In some unfortunate news, the Onion was barred from being able to buy Infowars,
What? Oh my god.
which good things aren't allowed to happen.
Yeah.
Um, I don't remember I didn't read into the reasoning. I think the judge said that like the families deserve more or something like that. Um, but
Okay.
it's still like, come on, like that was had potential to be the funniest thing on the planet, and it was the funniest thing on the planet for a solid couple months. But
Yeah.
you know, good things aren't allowed to happen.
I guess
Fun
not.
is dead,
Yeah.
and so that's sad. Also, the CEO shooter
Oh
or
yeah.
alleged shooter was caught, um, detained.
At your
I have
establishment.
doubts that it's the guy, but yes, that's true.
Hmm.
The Luigi, I don't know, Maggione or something like
Luigi's
that
Mansion.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, he was sussed out by a McDonald's employee, um, and was called by the to the police, and there was like a 50K reward on his head for
Damn.
anyone who had like information or something like that. But apparently, because she was on the clock at work and two didn't call the right hotline, she's not getting the money for it.
What? Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, which is so shitty.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He he doesn't. Been seeing a lot of people. I've been seeing a lot more thirst over him than last week, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people are like doubting that it's actually the guy, and I'm kind of not to be a conspirator, but some of the points they were making that I can't quite remember at this time were making me go, I wonder.
Mm.
Kind of just it kind of felt just like the police or the FBI or whoever wanted to put someone's name and face on it, so they hired a guy or something. But it's
Interesting. I don't know if they
who knows.
would. I don't know because people. This is the wildest thing for me. People found out that he, in one of his yearbooks in high school, he quoted "video game donkey," uh, which was kind of insane. But even more insane than that was people pretty much like it's not 100% confirmed because the account was deleted on Reddit, but
Uh,
it almost seemed like people found the post where Luigi may have posted on the video game donkey subreddit, what quote should I use for my senior yearbook from Donkey or whatever, because it like lines up timeline wise, and also it like one of the top comments has the quote that he used in the yearbook, and it's like I don't know, dude. It was like a crazy little like
yeah,
I don't know, dude. It was weird.
that's great.
Yeah.
Uh, the I also saw that he was he was a part of like a gaming club or something like that,
Yeah.
uh, where they played as they his him and his club mates played as assassins
Oh,
in a game in a
yeah.
game called Among Us.
I think I
So
sent that screenshot, right?
yeah, I think so.
That was so funny. Hold on, I need to find that. uh, oh my god, wait, how long ago did I send that? Hold on, it should be in my screenshots. Yeah, here we go. Uh, and it gets cut off at the end as part of the thing. But it
Yeah,
says Luigi Mangione, who was arrested and charged with murder in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, once belonged to a group of Ivy League gamers who played assassins. A member of the group told NBC News. In the game called Among Us, some players are, and then it cuts off. Dude, that was so funny.
God, what fucking timeline is this? That's so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
God.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I thought that was funny. We'll see. You know, we'll see the fallout of all this, stuff as time goes on. But
yeah.
um, very very interesting couple of weeks uh,
Yeah.
in that way. Um, all right. I don't know if I wrote anything else down for news, but those
That's
are some of the big things.
that's okay. I think we are. Yeah, we're at 50 minutes. I think with spinning a wheel and song of the week, we should be good.
Yeah,
If you're all good.
sounds
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good.
It's been an eventful week, I guess. But yes, we'll be spinning the wheel here in a sec. But I guess before we do that, we'll do song of the week, and I am up first this week. Um, and like I said, I've really been digging that Dochi album, and I don't think. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to add her to my list just because it's so new to me and I won't be able to quantify it appropriately. But one of my favorite songs on there that I'm going to go with is Denial is a River by Dochi.
Wristwatch, drip drop, label want the TikToks. Now I'm making TikTok music. What the fuck?
Alright, that was Denial is a River by Dochi. What'd you think of that, Colin?
I thought that was super good. I liked her flow on it a lot. I liked it was like it felt very personal, but like fun too. I don't know. It felt like a therapy session a little bit, and I thought it was cool. But when, towards the end, before it gets into like the breathing exercises or whatever, the way that Dochi was rapping and doing her verses, it reminded me of Dev Lemon's impression of Eminem.
Yeah, I can see that.
But either way, though, great. It was very cool. I like that a lot. She has very cool energy.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, I really love just the energy on that track in general. It's similar. I mean, she does that song on her tiny desk, and like that's kind of the energy she gives off live a little bit more than on some of the songs. Like it's just like you said, it's like personal but funny. I think that's the best way to put it. Like it's lighthearted but also very much her, and I think that's just really cool. I like the storytelling on it. I've been really loving that beat every time I hear it too. Like the bass is just so nice, and the little syncopated chords are sick as hell. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that track a lot this week. I don't know. It's just kind of stuck in my head a little bit. Yeah, but what are you feeling for this week?
Well, one of the albums that I re-listened to for my year end was one of the big ones this year was Brat.
Mm.
And I know we've had a couple songs off of here already, but I still liked a couple more than I realized. So I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with "So I" by Charlie XCX.
All right.
Always on my mind. Every day, every night. You're still.
All right, that was "So I" by Charlie XCX. What did you think, Mike?
I think that's a great song. That's one of my favorites off the album too. Do you know the backstory behind that song?
I do.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't tell if you said do or don't.
I do not.
Do not. There we go. Yeah, that track. I mean, I don't know every single detail about it, but I do know that it was written about Sophie, the EDM artist who
Oh,
unexpectedly passed away a couple of years ago now. I think it was actually around Christmas time. And the song's like basically, the regrets of not reaching out to her and all that kind of stuff. Like it wasn't like an intentional death that happened to Sophie, but still not like having one last time of, doing stuff together and all those things, and that just always being on her mind or whatever. And I think it's a really heartbreaking moment on that album. I really do love how it's really, I mean, there's a couple times on Brat where it gets pretty serious, I would say, but I would say this one in particular, I really love how it's a full song of being pretty serious and down to earth and spacey. I think it sounds really great. I love that track.
yeah. Yeah, I'll get more into it when we do our year-end list, but re-listening to it, I was kind of surprised by how much I didn't pick up on, like the fact that like there are a lot of sincere moments here
Yeah.
mixed in with like the party and the dance kind of moments, and there are plenty of dance and upbeat moments, but there are more than I remembered there being of like those sincere kind of heart to heart moments that were like they caught me by surprise, and this was one of them. I was like, damn, not I took this kind of for granted, I think,
Yeah.
but this song was really really good, very pretty. Re-listening to it now, it kind of I don't know. For some reason, it reminds me of like a John Bellion cut.
You know what? I see it. I see the vision. Yeah.
In the best way.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
But yeah, it's very heartfelt, very sweet. And now that I know the backstory to it, it's very heartbreaking. But
Yeah.
very very good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, we got a little wheel to spin.
Yeah.
I'm just
Steve.
realizing, hoping the internet is decent enough to see your stream.
If not, then I will screenshot it and send it to the chat.
Colin's gonna
But-
rig the wheel. All AJR.
Yeah. But yeah, we're this won't be next week. This is the unorthodox thing that I referenced at the beginning of the episode. We're spinning a couple weeks early just to give ourselves some time, as artist analysis will be the week of Christmas. So, we want to give ourselves some time to listen through that without having to worry about that interspliced with the holidays and such. So
Yeah.
we're gonna spin that wheel. We're gonna see who will be the special artist analysis for our 200th episode
Yeah.
of this podcast. Absolutely crazy.
I can't believe half these episodes ago we listened to Taylor Swift.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that long.
It doesn't.
But yeah, can you see it?
I
You
can
good?
see it.
All right, time to spin. What are we gonna get?
What are we listening to for 2 weeks straight?
Oh,
Oh,
come on.
okay,
Oh,
all right,
thank
all right.
Christ.
That was close. That was close. Audio listeners love you to death. That was a matchup right there that we were going between.
So the artist for our 200th episode is Daft Punk.
Damn, I can't believe I'm not going to be listening to "You Make Me Feel Like It's Halloween" on Christmas time. That's going to be a sad missing song
man.
from my tradition.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
we'll be
I'm
listening. Yeah. Yeah, I guess to audio listeners, it looked like it was going to be Muse there, which I will be interested once we do Muse, but that will be a few albums of shit we'll have to get through. I believe Daft Punk is only 3 albums. I'm gonna check right now. They do have an iconic live album too that we could check out if we wanted to. Come on, internet. Oh my god.
It's like
Looks like
I
3.
got it up.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
like 4 to me.
4?
Yeah, we got Homework, Discovery, Human After All, and Random Access Memories.
Okay, cool.
But you know that live album is very iconic. But it's up to you whether or
I
not.
mean, I'd be down.
Let me see how long it is before
Okay.
before I
It might be on
anything.
the it
But
might be on the longer side, but I'm not sure. We do have 2 weeks as well, but
that is true. Let's see. Where's that? Alive. Is it 2007 or 1997?
I think 2007. That sounds right.
It's an hour and a half. About. Okay.
We could talk about it too. Don't have to make a decision at this moment.
All right.
Okay. Well, you'll see in a couple weeks, listener, viewer, whichever you are. But yeah, we will be doing a little Daft Punk 200 episode special. I think that's a pretty good one. Not going to be super daunting like the Taylor Swift one, but that's okay. Yeah, cool. Well, look forward to that. But
Yeah.
before we get to that, as well as next week, which will be our year-end lists, so also look forward to that. But before we do that, audio listeners, like I said, love you to death. You missed that great bit of Muse coming by. But you could have seen it if you were over on YouTube, which we are on YouTube. We're under the same name, BrokeN Bois, capital N, BOIS, where you can come check out that bit, that spinning the wheel, all the other visual things we did this episode, as well as you got Schlattman here. And I never asked you to explain your profile pic. Well, what's the thing?
There's a trend on TikTok right now where they use this reaction image of Pepe the prawn from the Muppets.
Of course.
Because he looks kind of traumatized, and they just trauma dump a whole traumatizing story as they use this reaction image throughout the whole thing. It's been very funny, and I just like that reaction image of Pepe the prawn. So
there he is. No, you can come see it firsthand, audio listener. Come see those beautiful profile pics. Also in the description, we have links to the Song of the Week playlist, that segment we did right before spinning that wheel, where you can go listen to both the songs that we mentioned. I had Denial is a River by Doechii, and Colin had So I by Charlie XCX. You can find that in one of 2 places. We got playlist for me, we got one for Colin, and we got one for both of us combined, along with all of our guests that we have frequently on the show. And you can go check out those playlists. Over 400 songs long. A lot of good stuff in there. They're all songs that were the highlights of our week, and AJR. So you gotta check it out, you know. Yeah, we also got links to some personal stuff. For me, I make music. Colin can confirm I am making music. We'll just put it that way. The Colin feature is gonna go crazy. Let me tell you. Yeah, you can check that out under my artist name Plaintive. I got that down there. Catch up on your Plaintive lore. Got Coping Mechanism down there. It's the album. It's not like I don't know what else it would be. Yeah, I got links to that, Spotify, Apple Music. I also have my Instagram down there, as well as my YouTube page and my TikTok page and my Album of the Year page, where I rate and review music. You can probably go spoil the year-end list right now if you really wanted to, but don't do that. Yeah, I got those, and oh my gosh, I am, let's see, what's something that,
you're in Wisconsin.
I am in Wisconsin behind you. No, no. You know what?
Mars East Castle in Wisconsin.
I'll just play into it. I'll say I am right behind you, dear viewer, with a cheese head on my hat, and a little foam finger, because I'm a big Bucky Badgers fan, and I. Yeah, man. Hey, my family are actually Bucky Badgers fans. Don't speak badly. But,
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I thought you were trash talking. It's the I think it's the college hockey team up here in Wisconsin. And yeah, so I'm wearing my Bucky Badger T-shirt with a foam finger and a cheese head hat on my head, and I got a big old Midwestern smile on me too, and I'm behind you. All right. And Colin over here, he runs our socials. He runs our Twitter page where he updates when videos are posted, as well as all things that need to be updated. And he also runs our TikTok page where he posts little funny clips of us having fun, being funny. Go check out both of those and give him a love. And you can also give him love personally. His address, he has an album of the year page where he rates and reviews albums. That's what that's called, music. He has a letter.
Probably spoil my list as well if you want. Don't do that.
Exactly. Give us the follow. Don't look at our list. He also has a letterbox where he rates and reviews movies. Any new movies up there this week?
Yeah, I did my reviews and ratings for Late Night with the Devil and Challengers, so you can go check those out.
That is right.
I like my Challengers one. It's pretty funny, so go check those out.
Absolutely. And he also has an Instagram review page. Oh, and something I forgot to mention, speaking of Challengers, because Trent Reznor did the soundtrack to that, he's also doing the soundtrack to the new Naughty Dog game, which will be...
Yes.
That will be pretty cool.
Another thing that I forgot to mention that's also at the end of the episode.
Okay. Colin, this is the part people don't watch. We can't do this.
I'm sorry. I'm not hear this. But it's probably more exciting for like you, but they're doing a little Malcolm in the Middle revival.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing like a little 4-episode event.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus. They announced it today with Bryan Cranston, I forget the actress who plays the mom's name, and Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That is cool. I didn't know about that. I do have Disney Plus, so I will probably watch that. That sounds intriguing at the very least. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, what's your relation
to
our dear
proximity.
Yeah.
Hi. Our dear viewer is playing the mitigator here as I am in full Bears uniform because I didn't know what sports we were dressing up for.
Yeah.
So my face is painted orange and navy blue, and I'm wearing a Bears jersey. I got I don't even know what's the opposite of what's the opposite of a cheese head.
A hot dog on your head. I don't know.
Hot dog on my head. I got a Chicago style hot dog on my head, not a hat.
You ran out of hands. You got to do a balancing act.
Yeah. And I got 2 foam fingers in the shape of bear claws, and I'm going, boo! I hate the Bucky
Badgers.
I'm like, what are you, a gas station? And like Bucky's, and
yeah.
And we're getting heated, but our dear viewer is going to go, hey guys, neither you guys are not even you're not even rooting for the same sport. Chill out. and we're gonna go. Oh, you're so right. We're both gonna apologize profusely to our dear viewer who had to keep us at bay from absolutely. And I'm gonna take the hot dog head. I'm gonna set it down. You can keep it on or take it off, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But
I might take a bite out of mine, but
nice and foamy. But
yeah.
we're gonna come together in a resolutionary hug, and is gonna be in between us as they help us realize that we were in the wrong in how we were reacting. But we're gonna hug with our foam fingers on, and I'm gonna go in for a kiss. I'm gonna put my eye a little bit on the cheese, and that's gonna be the cue for you to take a little bit. Don't poke my eye, but after I finish chewing on that foam, engage in a nice big old smooch right next to our dear viewer's head. We're over our differences, not fighting over sports that we love oh so much, and we're engaging in this beautiful embrace that we like to call the love cage. And if you'd like your own love cage, dear viewer, all you must do is drop your address in the comments below, and we will find you. You won't know when, you won't know where, but we will find you and give you your very own love cage. So go ahead and drop that addy.
Absolutely.
We'll find you. But yeah, tune in next week for our year-end lists. See what makes it into our top songs, top albums, and how we feel about those. And Daft Punk the week after that. So
yeah,
get excited, folks.
And Brokey's the week after that, I think. Probably, most likely.
It's the big three. It's the big three.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about the big three this year. They're so excited for this BrokeN Boys three run. It's gonna be great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, tune in, get excited. I know I am. We'll talk at you next week.
See you next week, sports fans.
Love you.
Bye-bye.